Hey guys, Ramona's kit just dropped and we're gonna check it out together. Now, what archetype is Ramona from? She's poison and she is really weird. But let's first read her kit and then talk about things further. Her passive says that at the start of the round, Ramona removes her own exorcism request. Based on the number of stacks removed, rewrites a certain amount of incantations with the possession effect. What is exorcism request? That is a buff that Ramona provides to herself at the start of every single round. When entering battle or when enemies enter, Ramona inflicts poison onto them. Okay, what is possession? Possession is, it rewrites the incantation surface. After an ally actively uses a rewritten possession incantation, Ramona casts Target the Stubborn. What is Target the Stubborn? It is a mass attack that deals mental damage to all enemies and inflicts poison. After the attack hits, he inflicts Exorcism Potion. This attack is considered as a follow-up attack. What is Exorcism Potion? That is, at the end of the round, based on the number of stacks of Exorcism Potion, resolves additional poison on a target. This does not reduce its duration. Okay, we're gonna figure this out at the end of this video, don't worry about it for now. Let's first keep reading her kit. Here, her insight 1, we already read it. Her insight number 3 says, when entering battle, Ramona gains Moxie. After casting Target the Stubborn for the first time each round, Ramona gains Moxie. Within a single round, based on the number of defeated enemies, at the start of the round inflicts Exorcism Potion on all enemies. Okay, let's go and check out her incantations. Those are 2 debuff incantations, by the way. Her incantation number 1, Immediate Exorcism, says it's a mass attack. It deals mental damage to 2 enemies and inflicts poison. After the attack, you grant yourself Exorcism Request. It looks like this. Her incantation number 2, Spirits Keep Away, says it's a 1-target attack. It deals mental damage and it inflicts poison. Immediately resolves 1 round of the target's poison based on a percentage of the original poison damage. This does not reduce its duration. It looks like this. Pretty cool. Let's check out her ultimate, called Let Both Worlds Rest in Peace. It's a mass attack. It deals mental damage to all enemies. It converts a certain amount of poison on the targets into a different debuff called Soul Solvent, and it grants yourself Efficient Exorcism. Soul Solvent is considered as poison. The longer it remains, the higher the damage when triggered. When its duration ends, it deals additional Genesis damage. Efficient Exorcism is, at the start of the round, you generate yourself a preparation Spirits Keep Away incantation with the rewritten possession effect. Alright, and yeah, let's first, it looks like this. This is the sweep animation that we are already aware of. Alright, first let's go and figure out how this character is played a little bit. So, at the start of every single round, you grant yourself a buff. That is called 1 stack of a buff that is called Exorcism Request. Then you also, at the start of every single round, remove all the stacks from this buff. And based on the number of the stacks that you remove, you rewrite a certain number of allies incantations and give it the possession effect. You do this because you want to cast these incantations with possession on them so that Ramona casts a follow-up attack. That follow-up attack is a mass attack that deals damage and inflicts poison. Cool. That's it. It also inflicts another debuff that is then removed, and it resolves additional poison on the target. It deals more damage is what that basically says. Okay, now you of course need to get your hands, you really want to get your hands onto more of those exorcism request stacks, because at the start of every round you only get one. That is not enough. You want at the start of every round have more than one of those removed, so that more incantations of your allies gain the possession effect. That will give you more freedom when it comes to the incantations that you can use, and therefore you will have better rotations. In order for you to accomplish that and you gain more of these exorcism request stacks, you need to cast your incantation number 1 as much as possible. You will accomplish that by simply, of course, drawing into them and with your unfinished tune. This will apply a whole bunch of poison to your enemy, because whenever Ramona enters battle, she poisons. Whenever you use this incantation number 1, you poison. Whenever you trigger these follow-up attacks, you poison. And all of this poison things, all of these poison shenanigans here, are used up by your incantation number 2, because you immediately resolve 1 round of the target's poison based on a percentage of the original poison damage, right? But point is, you inflict a lot of poison with the rotation that I just told you about, and then you resolve that poison with your incantation number 2. This is really as easy as it gets. We have her ultimate ability that we can use quite frequently, because, as I said, we want to use our incantation number 1 as much as we possibly can, and our incantation number 2 also wants to get used, so we are quite AP hungry here, which is no problem, because yeah, Tuesday doesn't take up too much AP, our sustain will not use up too much AP. It's all gonna be about Willow and Ramona, at least for the most part. Tuesday doesn't do much actively. Okay, and we will be able to use our ultimate quite frequently also, because when Ramona enters battle, she gains Moxie. She gets 1 additional Moxie every single turn, because she will cast her follow-up attack every single turn at least once. She gains 1 Moxie through that, no matter how often she casts it per turn. It grants her additional Moxie is what that basically means. So plus 1 Moxie every single round, and on turn 1 you have 2 additional Moxie. That will allow you to use your ultimate, which you will absolutely have to do, because not only is it a mass attack that deals mental damage to all enemies, no, it converts a certain amount of poison stacks into a better poison stack called Soul Solvent. It's the exact same thing, kind of, that Willow also does. Willow also takes a certain amount of poison stacks and converts them into a better poison stacks. Here, Ramona does the exact same thing with the help of her ultimate. You want to cast this ultimate, therefore, as much as you possibly can. And yeah, we kind of have good enough Moxie generation to actually pull that off, but we want to play Ramona actively. That is what we have to keep in mind. Also, when we use our ultimate, we gain a free preparation incantation for our incantation number 2. That is gonna be it. You know what I mean? You just have to watch out that you use Ramona actively a whole bunch, and that you use the incantations with your teammates that have possession attached to them. So your rotations will be based upon what incantations actually have possession. I told you how you spread as much possession as possible, right? Thanks to your incantation number 1 that you use as much as you can anyways with the unfinished tune. Okay, now what about this character? Why did I say at the beginning she is super weird? That is because, yeah, the poison team needs help, right? We have Willow and we have Tuesday. Those two are gonna be staples. Then we of course have Sotheby as our sustain. Now we have two choices. Either we put in Jessica or Kakania, because Kakania is kind of needed for this team, as Sotheby doesn't get the job done as a sustain character for the hardest content in the game anymore. So we need something for Poison that helps Sotheby out with sustaining a team. Our option that we already have would be Kakania. You know what I mean? And now Ramona comes in. She is kind of like Willow, right? Because she converts the poison stacks into a better poison. That is exactly what Willow also does. We just got a very, very strong Euphoria update that tripled Willow's damage output. Willow is not gonna be replaced as the main DPS character. So the only and Tuesday is a staple, I don't need to explain that one at all. Now, the only spot that Ramona could fill would be replacing Jessica and or Kakania. You know what I mean? That is super weird. And even if she does that, the Poison team is not gonna be good enough still, because Ramona has absolutely nothing to help with sustaining the team effectively. Sotheby doesn't get it done. Now there is a kicker here, of course, right? Because now with having a character like Ramona, that enables us to replace Sotheby. Sotheby was here because she of course has a sustain, right? But she also spreads the poison. That was really, really good. Helping to get more poison onto the field through your sustain is super, super convenient and was very, very good for the Poison team. With the amount of poison though that Ramona spreads, we don't need that sustain anymore. That helps with spreading poison. We now have, thanks to Ramona, even without Sotheby, more than enough poison spread. Even if she converts the poison, it's still gonna be enough. You know what I mean? So that's gonna be the thing. What Blue Park wants us to do here, what they are aiming at least for the time being, is to play Poison with Willow, Tuesday and Ramona, but with a sustain, a viable sustain of our choice. So we have to replace Sotheby with any viable sustain of our choice. Doesn't have to spread poison, doesn't have to do anything in particular. All that the sustain needs to do is keep the team alive, you know? And that's about it. And that's why I call Ramona super, super weird. Because she's not the character that the poison lineup needed. Just give Kakania a Euphoria update, that would have been good enough. Give Sotheby her second Euphoria update, why not? Would have been good enough. But you know, like Ramona replacing Jessica, or Kakania for that matter, that is super duper weird. I don't understand the purpose of this. To me, it doesn't make any sense. But maybe they plan something in the future. Maybe they will give Kakania a super good poison sustain Euphoria update, or they give Sotheby the second Euphoria. I don't know what this is supposed to be, but the Poison team is of course extremely hardcore buffed. You know, Willow is strong, Tuesday is extremely good, now Ramona is a powerhouse character. But what about the sustain, bros? You know, they forgot about the sustain, literally. And this is why I call this release of Ramona here really weird. If in the future, right, next version or the version after that, like we get a good Poison sustain, Poison is gonna be one of the top 5 best teams in the game. Easy, right? Poison is really cracked right now, but it lacks the sustain, and that is what to me feels super duper weird. But that's about it for the video, guys. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comment section down below, please. If you like Reverse1999 content in general, please consider leaving a follow on my channel. I would really appreciate it. But until next time, take care of yourselves, have a great day, peace.